welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. This video is a bit different to the ones that I've normally done. I have had lots of requests on my Instagram over the last couple of years to show you my makeup look. So, little disclaimer, I am not a makeup artist. I am not here to teach you anything. I'm just here to show you how I do my makeup. I am over 40 and how my makeup has changed since I was in my 20s. The products that I use are more age appropriate, and yeah, I really hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions about my makeup look, please feel free to drop me a comment below. The next clip you see, I'll be looking very different because this is the sort of finished look. I'm up, dressed, ready. The next one is with no makeup on and crappy clothes on, so I don't mind getting makeup all over them. So prepare yourselves for the shock. Makeup is amazing. It's magical, as you will see, the before and the after. So brace yourselves, and if you've got a high quality definition television, I apologise in advance. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. See you in the next one. Right, guys, this is going to be a really real makeup video. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not a beauty blogger, so to speak. I love makeup. I have all my makeup here. I've been asked to do this video I don't know how many times by people that follow me, people that know me personally, and people like, oh, I'd love to see how you do your makeup. So I've never done this before. So I've got all of my makeup in front of me. I have got a mirror that I'm going to use to do my bits here, and you can kind of watch from here because my eyesight's not that great and I don't want to get it messy. So as you can see, my skin is not amazing. I've got a couple of blemishes here. Already I have done my skincare routine. So I've done my cleansing, toning and moisturising. So that's all sort of settled in. So now we are going to go into the full makeup tutorial. So first of all, I use the Veil Mineral Primer by Hourglass. Now this is a primer that is oil-free. It's a mineral primer and it's got SPF 15. I use one little pump that does your whole face, and even that is a really generous amount. So you've got that bit there. And I put it here, here and here, and just kind of blend it in. Now the reason I do this is because this is a primer that it kind of fills in your pores a little bit and makes your skin look a lot more even. I always take it down the neck because you always need makeup on your neck as well. I've got moisturiser on my neck, so that's all set. And then once you kind of feel it's gone in, you're good to go. So this has now got a kind of slip to the skin, and my skin now feels that it's primed and ready for makeup. So my foundation of choice, I will do two of these videos, but I will do it with my liquid foundation and my stick foundation because I do have a slightly different technique for both. But this is my everyday go-to favourite product look. So this is the Forever foundation by Dior, and I use the shade 2W. There is a glowy version. This is the matte version. I use two pumps on the back of my hand. And then I just kind of get that with my finger and do that. This is where I'm going to need my smaller brush. Smaller mirror, sorry. So there are many ways you can apply foundation. You can do it with your fingers, you can do it with a sponge. I used to use a beauty blender. I say used to, I still have the beauty blender, I love it. But I recently bought in the Black Friday sale the Bobbi Brown full coverage brush. This brush is so dense, it's so beautiful. This is where I need my mirror. And I basically take the brush and I just buff it in, all around. And it gives your skin a really perfect foundation, hence the name. Now with these beauty videos, a lot of people, they have their hair all done and everything. When I say this is a real one, this is literally how I get ready. I have my hair wet, I do my makeup, and then once my makeup's done, my hair is dry enough to kind of start styling it. I can't abide these videos where these girls, and I don't know if it's just me being old, but you know, they put on like rings and stuff, and they put product all over their face with the rings on. It absolutely grinds my gears. I can't handle it. So you put a bit down your neck. It's like there's so much bacteria in those rings. It's just crazy. Right, so then I start to stipple, and what the stippling does, once you've buffed it in, the stippling gives you a bit of extra coverage, and it evens everything out. Now with this you can see my problem areas are my cheeks. I've always had a bit of rosacea on my cheeks. Although the skin kind of looks mattified and it looks even, I still want a bit of extra coverage here and here, because during the day when this breaks down and your skin starts to come through, I just don't want it to be obvious. So I add a bit of extra coverage. So this is where I use my concealer, and this is the Lasting Perfection Concealer. They recently changed their packaging and the colour names, which is quite annoying. So I used to be Warm Medium 3, so I'm now Buttermilk number 10. I don't know if you can see that, that's a bit too bright. But I'm Buttermilk number 10, and it is exactly the same shade. They've changed the formulation ever so slightly, and they've made it a bit more liquidy. And they've made the doe applicator bigger. So to me, these are all great changes. Now I do put on quite a bit, because what I do here with this, I just slap it on, and then I get my brush and I stipple it in. So I don't even blend, I just stipple, because I want that extra full coverage. And then whatever's left, I just take over the rest of the face. I do stick to that area. And then along the neck. And then, as you can see, I'm kind of keeping away from the eyes. Because of my age, I don't want a load of product around my eyes. I've got the foundation there to kind of even everything out, but I have done that. And then, when you've checked, you've got no like demarcation line, everything's evenly blended. It should look a bit like that. So you can still see the skin, but the marks that you want to hide are now hidden. So now that we've done the base, some people leave it here and then go on to bronzer and stuff. I have an oily combination skin, so I need to set my makeup. So I use the Laura Mercier powder, loose powder in translucent or honey. Honey is my preference. I got this one in a Black Friday sale and it was only available in the translucent, so I grabbed it. But I do prefer the honey one because it's better for olive skin tones. It's got a slightly more yellow base. I use loose powder because it's a lot finer and it doesn't sit in fine lines, and I find it sets makeup way better than pressed powder. Pressed powder I love for like mid-afternoon touch-ups. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a bit on my brush. This is the Real Techniques powder brush. Yeah, and I've used this brush for centuries. I absolutely love it. It's perfect. So you take a bit in the lid, tap off the excess. This is why I'm wearing a white top. Anyone that knows me is like, God, Cass wearing white. Is because if I did this in black, I would have it everywhere. When I usually do my makeup, I have to have a towel on. I didn't want to do that to you guys. So I put a white t-shirt on to sort of hide the fallout. So I basically take it and I pat it into the skin. Don't drag it. If you drag it, you'll be moving the makeup underneath. You just have to pat it into place. And what this does is, it sets the foundation underneath. So all that makeup you just put in, it kind of just cements it into place. Not the best words, but it won't budge, basically. I'll take whatever's left on the brush. Now this is just my day-to-day makeup. If you're going for a night out and you really, really want to secure the skin, and with masks as well, because obviously makeup has changed a lot with masks. I've had to find makeup that doesn't budge and it's really, you know, holds its place. So what I do is I've got my powder puff. This is an old MAC one. MAC discontinued it. I'm honestly so annoyed. It's the best powder puff ever. And then I just get whatever's left in the lid and just sort of rub it like that. And then pat it. It looks like tons, but actually it's not that much. Pat it into the skin. And this now will hold for like 14 hours or something. So just put it all over, make sure it's even. excess there. Good stuff. Now, some people do their eye makeup first. I don't. I tend to wait until I've set my skin. If it's an eyeshadow that I know has fallout, then I will do it first. For me though, seeing my eyes completely done when my skin isn't done, it just really, I think I just always go a bit too over the top with the eyes, and I just feel like I can't gauge how my makeup's going to look. So today we're going to go for a green, glittery, sparkly, fake Christmas party look. Let's say this is our daily makeup with a bit of extra sparkle. So I use an eye primer, which is Magnif Eyes by Rimmel. This is a drugstore primer. It's amazing. So it's just like a little doe foot applicator with like a cream in it. I need to get a new one, it's really running out. I take a little bit on the end of my finger. If you take it straight from the applicator, I just find it's way too much. And I just pat it along where I know I'm going to be putting my eye makeup. Because what an eye primer does is, it holds the colour in place and it stops it from creasing. So if you have oily skin like me, you have oily eyelids, where you put makeup in your crease, if the skin is oily, it will crease in the crease. So you'll have a beautiful makeup until you blink, and then you'll blink and it will look like crusty and horrible. So for me, a primer is an absolute staple. You can use one like this, or you can use a cream shadow, which I do use for my neutral looks, which I might do in my next video. But as this one's a green look, I don't have a green cream product. Now I've kept a cotton swab here with a cotton round with some micellar water on it, because I'll be taking off my lips and doing my mole and stuff like that. So I want to show you. Oh, so what you do now is, like with your makeup, your face makeup, you have to set your eyes. So I'm going to be using my bronzer, which is the Hourglass one. As you can see, I've hit pan on it quite a lot, but this one is really light and it's got the ambient lighting powder in the middle. So I just take that ambient lighting powder, and I'm just using it as an eye primer, because it's running out and it's now getting to the point where it's more of a setting powder than a bronzer, because the bronze is kind of gone. It was a very, very poor choice on my side to get this colour of bronzer, but I had to try it. I'm glad I tried it, but it's not the best, so I'm using it now as a finishing powder, so that's fine. So I've just put my primer powder where the primer went. So now we're going to apply eyeshadow. This is the Huda Beauty Khaki Haze palette. I cannot tell you the love I have for these colours. I have not got a palette like this in my collection. Today we're going to start with this colour, which is the khaki green. Honestly, it was one of the best buys ever. My friend who works for Huda, she posted some photographs of this like the day it came out, and I was like, oh my god, I need that powder in my life. So you apply that. So I've got a little powder brush here. I just kind of go over the whole lid with it. I hope you can see all this. It's difficult to film. I will get better at this, but it's my first video, so I just do the same on the other eye. So I'm just patting it all over the lid. I'm not being too careful because we'll blend it all out later. So if you think, God, that looks right messy, it doesn't matter, because it's all going to come together and look great. So I put it on the lid, I put it in the crease. I don't go much over the lid. I sort of just blend in the crease, because we're going to be putting a transition colour in that crease to kind of bring the colours together that we're applying. So there is a method. Right. So that's that for that step. So this is the colour on the eyes, and this is that khaki green. Now, for a bit of Christmas sparkle, I'm going to add the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter, Loose Glitter Pigment. I'm going to try and show you what it looks like. So that's the colour, and if you take off the little presser, that's what it looks like. So you basically just get your finger in there. I've tried it with every other thing, and it's best applied with your finger. Look at that. It's stunning. So then you just apply it directly to the eyeballs. And I just kind of pull it up just so it goes on the lid and just slightly over. Go back in if you need to. It just adds such a pretty sparkle. And with Hourglass, it's a kind of grown-up sparkle. It's not a, you know, kind of lumps of glitter sort of situation. It's very, very grown-up glitter. Sorry if you can hear that banging. We've got our neighbour's aerial is loose and it keeps clanging. So if you can hear that, I do apologise. And then till they look even, bit more for luck. It's Christmas after all. So if you're doing like a Zoom party or something, it's going to be quite a good look. Now we've done that, and what this little presser thing is for, if you own one of these, it's really handy. You do that and you push it down to press the glitter again. It's so good. So now I've got these over my fingers. This is where the micellar water comes in handy. Always have one of them knocking about. So at this point now, I will just get my Morphe brush. This is a Morphe E30, one of the best blending brushes ever. And I just blend together what we've got here. As you can see, there's no product fallout. I've got nothing on the under eyes. The quality is amazing of these palettes. Honestly, the Huda Beauty is so good. This is the first thing I ever bought from hers, and I will buy more. But I try not to go crazy with eyeshadow palettes. Like, I'm not one of these people that has a million. I have a few, and they're all different colour stories. So if I've got one that's nude, I won't buy another nude. I'm quite good that way. So now, to do a transition shade, I'm going to use this colour here. So a transition shade basically brings all the colours together. So you just tap that in there really lightly, and then just where the crease is here, just bring where you can see the colours sort of separating, if you like. Where you can see that they need blending together, you have a transition shade which kind of just mixes everything together and makes it look a bit more seamless. So back and forward, like a windscreen wiper. See? Now, if you wanted to deepen the look, you can go in with like a darker colour. So I'm going to put in a bit of this brown if you wanted to. All you need is like that much on the end of a brush, like nothing. And you just take it right into that corner and blend it in with the transition shade, and it just kind of deepens the crease, adds a bit of a shadow on the crease, which makes the eye look deeper set. See? A little bit. Then I'll get the E30 brush again and just kind of go over it to kind of blend all that together. And all these brushes, the blending brushes, should always be clean. If you have any other colours on them, you're just going to transfer what you have on the brush. So that's how that looks. Now I'm going to take off the lipstick, sorry, the foundation on my lips and on my mole. And this gives you a better idea of the colour your skin's going to be, because we're going to bronze in a second. If you don't do this and you bronze, you end up looking ridiculously orange. Got a little beauty spot there that I'm just going to show. So for the bronzer, I'm going to use my Hourglass, this is so bright, the Hourglass Sculpture palette, and this is this Christmas's Christmas palette. So I'm going to be using this for the bronzer and the blusher and the finishing powders, so that's quite cool. So I'm going to use the ambient lighting brush from Hourglass, and I'm going to dip into this bronzer. So I just put a bit on the brush there, and I love this brush is flat, so don't panic, it's going to look a bit mad and then I'll blend it out. So you get your brush, use your cheeks up a little bit, and then you bring it there, and then blend it out and up. Stu's doing the kitchen. You can hear all the clanging, and this is real life, people. I do not have a studio that's soundproofed. You have to listen to him doing the kitchen. Now this is kind of contouring, but not really. I don't contour. I don't like that kind of contour look, but I do like to define the cheeks and the colour, and I just like a little bit of colour without it being too nuts. Down the nose, and then just kind of pat in. Again, stipple all over. Don't want to get too much on the neck, because I'm wearing a polo neck later. So as you can see now, the bronzer kind of matches that transition shade in the eye, and it kind of makes it, you can kind of see where we're going with this. It's kind of bringing, you can see the look kind of unfolding now. Now the reason I do bronzer at this point is because the next bit I'm going to do is my brows. And once you've brushed your brows up, you don't really want to have a bronzing brush all over your face. So to brush up my brows, I'll use my Real Techniques dual, I don't even know what this is, it's so old, the writing's completely come off of it. But it's basically an eyebrow brush comb thing. Now I've had a bit of a journey with my brows over lockdown. I haven't been to see my brow lady. I used to go every 2 weeks to get my brows done, and they were always so thin. So over lockdown I decided to grow them out, and they're okay. They're getting to the point now where they're not too bad, but they do need a little bit of filling in. So I don't like a scouse brow, I don't like anything too heavy. So what I've been using is these, and I got these in the Black Friday sale. These are the Hourglass Eyebrow Arch Micro Sculpting Pencil, but these are travel sizes because I wasn't sure on my colour, so I bought 2 colours. I thought, well, if one's way too dark, I don't want to spend 27 quid on it, but I don't mind spending like £8 or £9. So I've gone for dark brunette and soft brunette. I'm going to use dark brunette because I'm trying to finish it up, because I've literally got, like, this is how much I've got left, and it's such a gorgeous little skinny thing. I might even have to do a mix of 2 brows. So with this, I'm going to try and come a bit closer and show you, but I will need my mirror. So I just basically push up here where I need that bit of filling in at the front there. I kind of do that, and then I go in the direction, so I go in the hair, the direction of the hairs, and because this is kind of like shaped like straight up, I just kind of do that. So I'll come as close as I can, and I don't know if you can see that line of brows here, that is my guide. So I'm just kind of going with the hair direction where the brows look like they need filling in. So that all kind of comes together and looks. So we're quite close to RAF Northolt, so you can hear planes. Quite a big plane just coming in. So that's not too bad. So now I'm going to spool it out to brush up the hairs and see the finished result. Now for this I use my Benefit Precisely My Brow. This is empty, it's got nothing in it, the pencil, but I love the spoolie. So at this point now, because all the hairs are like pointing in different directions, I point them up. I don't put too much pressure because I don't want to brush away the product that I've put on, but I want to sort of feather it out a little bit. So there you go, so that's kind of finished product. So at this point now, I will set them into place. And I've got the Hourglass Arch Brow Volumizing Fibre Gel in Warm Brunette. This is a perfect match for my brows, and it's got a great brush. So what I do is I take the flat side, which is this side, and I back comb the brows. So this is where you get the deposit of volumizing product. It's basically got little fibres in it to make your brows look a lot fuller. I just dip in once. This is more than enough for 2 brows. So you back comb. And then you use the top bit to comb them up. That kind of sets them into place. They look a bit fuller. Sort of brush the crazy bits down. Ta-da! Brows did. Now, eyeliner. This is going to be interesting because I am not one of these people that just does this with their eyeliner perfectly. I need 2 hands. So I'm going to have to use the camera. So we're about to get really close. So to do my eyelids, I pull my lid there. It's really wrong, guys. I can barely see. Just put it out. So quiet, I just want to know what I'm doing there. If anybody else has a thing with winged liner, or you do one and it's fine, and then the other one's a bit thicker, and you spend like 20 minutes balancing them. We're not going to do that today because I haven't got the time, frankly, or the patience. So that's that. Done. So that's my brows. So I'm now going to apply some mascara. So the mascara we're using today is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. I'm not a huge fan of this, I'm not going to lie to you, and I need a bit of coffee, I'm sorry. So, again, this is real. So, I'm not a big fan of this mascara. The brush is great, one's lovely. It does what it says in the tin, like you get really long lashes with it, but it gives you kind of like fibres in the mascara. And over the course of the day, on me, I'm not saying in general, on me, they kind of flake and gets in my eyes. And I wear contact lenses. And if you have a little anything in your eye and it gets near your contact lens, it feels like you've got a rock in your eye. It's the absolute worst. I do go a bit mascara crazy as well because my lashes are non-existent. And I do use 2 mascaras. I've got the Hourglass Caution, which is much better. I use as my second mascara because I find that if you have 2 different textures of mascara, for some reason it gives you a better look and it's longer lasting. So I don't know, you don't have to, that's just me. As I've got 2 mascaras, I've been using them ever since. So while that bit's drying, I'm going to go ahead and put on my blusher. I think I'm going to go for this one today because it's quite bright and I fancy a pop of colour. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there. And just tap it in. Use its mirror because it's ginormous. I'm a big fan of the pat and the blend. Pat it into the area you want it, and then blend it out to. Then using the other side where I have the bronzer on just to kind of blur the edges. Right, and then, oh, a bit of highlighter, why not? So we've got the highlighter here, which is that shade. And this is the highlighter for the blusher I've been using is a strobe blush in Vibrant Flush. I think is exclusive to this palette. The highlighter definitely is, and this is the strobe powder in Glistening Strobe Light. So I'm going to use the bronzer brush, but just the corner of it. So I'm going to take that and just kind of do that a bit here. Such a great highlight. It's not crazy, but you get a really like glossy look to the skin. ambient lighting brush, but it's the big one. Technical. So I'm going to use my old bronzer again that's just basically got ambient lighting powder left in it. And then just rub it all over the face, because this kind of brings the whole look together and just blends everything that you've put on your face together. And I'm brushing this up because I want to disrupt my brows. And then we're going to do the last bit of mascara. This is the Caution one, so much better. This is the travel size. I did actually buy the full size in the Black Friday sale on Cult Beauty because this mascara is probably one of the best I've ever tried. My lashes suck and this really did a great job. A bit of eyeliner, if I've got that. Yes, I do. So I've got my favourite, discontinued for a long time, L'Oreal in Icy Cappuccino. This is a bronze eyeliner. I don't like black eyeliners very much. I tend to use this one all the time for every look. And they discontinued it years ago, and I bought, I'm not joking, I went into Superdrug and bought every one they had, and I've got like 10 of them. I've only got about 4 now because I've used it up. But I think they were discontinued about 4 years ago. And honestly, I bought every one in the shop. They were on clearance, they were like 50p each, and I was like, nah. I mean, look at that. How lovely. It's such a natural line, but really, really nice. And the lipstick I'm going to use today is Mocha by MAC, because I don't want anything too dark, because the eyes are kind of the focal point. I don't use a brush or anything. I'm just going to put it on. Obviously it's taken a bit longer because I've been talking everything through and I've been trying to concentrate whilst talking, but day to day my makeup takes me 20 minutes to do from start to finish. If you want to add a setting powder, you can. I've got the Veil, Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. I don't really like this one, it's a bit too glowy for me. I love the Urban Decay one, but it dries your skin out, it's terrible. This is very extra. But I have the fan from my holidays, and I thought, this is a great idea. Setting spray. So there you go. This one adds a lot of glow. I don't really love it for my skin. If you have a dry skin and you want a glowy look, great. But this to me makes me look a little bit greasy. I don't mind it for now because I'm not going anywhere, and it just kind of pulls the look together. But if I was going for a night out or wearing a mask, I wouldn't wear that. But yeah, here we go guys, that's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed the video, and next time I'm going to do one with a stick foundation. Let me know what you thought of it, any tips or tricks, let me know, because like I said, it's my first go, so any advice you've got, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. And if you have any questions about the products that I used or anything, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Please click subscribe, like, all those kind of things, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.